I don't know how the volume's going to be.
Hello!
Because I'm using this. Because I thought
Why not?
Easier.
Yeah.
Can everyone hear us?
Hello, can you hear
Got the
me?
chat right in front of you. This is weird.
It's good, isn't it?
It's just we're so close. It's like,
We're always close to home.
oh, yes. I know Dom's actually here because apparently he doesn't have internet properly.
Don't believe in internet, to be honest, Tom.
You don't? You're going to give up on it?
Gonna give up. Internet's a fad.
Oh, yeah.
I've got what's here.
Oh, cool. You brought that with you?
Yeah.
Do you know?
I'm always prepared.
Do you shun other people's water?
No, you don't share another man's water. That's rumor. Hello, everybody.
Can everyone just comment if the volume and audio is acceptable quality? Because I can see it was redlining. I'm just going to lower that down a little bit. So I'm sure everyone can hear us okay. Because I am using my webcam.
What are you painting?
Oh,
nice.
I've got a mountain over here.
Popping. That could be a compliment or a comment.
Popping. I don't know. When you say popping, do you mean it's popping? As in the audio is popping. I'll tell you what, actually, sorry, Dom. Just quickly take that out because. I've just taken out the audio jack from the background, so it might have been why it was doing it. Quite sure why it'd be crackling though. I do have a backup over here. Okay. I'll just unplug the backup. So,
well,
I'll tell you what, mate. We'll listen to what it sounds like. We'll listen to what it sounds like.
There's nothing wrong with that. Fussy.
Wrong with that. Yeah.
Fussy.
They can all hear this as well, I think.
I think they've been spoiled by other YouTube channels.
I think we're okay.
Yeah, I think
we'll soldier on, guys. But I'll. Look there. There we go. The audio's popping like you're underwater a little. Oh, okay. I'll just bring down the input down a bit as well. There we go. Anyway,
there we go.
We're here. So just persevere, guys. I'm actually probably going to get a mic anyway soon. Ooh. I have been thinking about getting a little boom or something.
I've got an arm. You can have an arm if you get a mic.
I've got that yourself.
No.
You doing that with that one?
Yeah.
I know you had a mic briefly.
I did. Yeah. Anyway, hello everybody. Sorry it's been a while, but tonight I am painting my Blood Bowl model.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got a Blood Bowl vampire guy. So there he is, little vampire guy. Oh, I love Blood Bowl. And yeah, I've got 4 paints to paint him with, which I've got sorted here. I don't know how this is going to go, to be honest.
That looks like a garish scheme.
That's how that turns out.
Oh my god.
So yeah, look, these are 2 of the colours. There's a lovely orangey and a green. I also have pink horror and Castellax bronze. So I've got those 4 colours to paint one model with. Could be interesting.
Well,
what are you working on? Your knights?
I'm still working on my knights. Unfortunately, I haven't quite caught up with where I should be with them, but I'm trying to. It's been a busy couple of weeks, but haven't really had the urge to paint. But I've been trying to do it, at least on the streams.
Yeah.
And yeah, to be honest, these aren't the most complex models to paint because this is how they will end up, as you can see here. So
very nice.
So it's just a simple colour scheme. But I did what this is like. I just want to break these up because I've got some Space Marine stuff I need to do over there and some other then.
Oh my goodness!
Well, I've stopped assembling them because it's just building up.
Guys, you haven't seen this. There's a pile. Oh my goodness!
It's got the.
We got that one.
It's got the
Dreadnought. Oh, the Brutalis.
Yeah, and the Hive Tyrant.
Oh, very cool.
So those because that came as I'll do the bike. Get my second Brutalis done.
Wow.
I'm gonna have 3.
My gosh. Tom.
So yeah, but yeah. However, the paints actually came in very useful because I ran out of a couple of the ones that came in the packs. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, cool.
I quite like you get the paints though. Yes. I know it seems like you're just being a bit cheap, and in the grand scheme of things, you get a model for that.
So,
essentially, don't bend your knees.
We've got a
pyro thing.
They were in order as well. Psychophage. I think I went these. I've still got.
Terminators?
Yes, that's one set. Terminators came in 2 sets because there's 5 of them, but they split them over 2 sprues, which is a bit bizarre. But I bet
that's quite cool, though.
A couple more paints.
Yeah.
And nice thing is they're actually paints I genuinely use.
Oh.
So yeah, I've
a load going on there.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where I was digitally assembling them as they arrived, and suddenly they started arriving in
Larger quantity.
Well, because essentially they don't send you one at a time.
No.
They send you 4. When you subscribe on the
you go, oh god.
they send you 4 once every month, basically.
Yeah.
So this is I haven't even finished the first 2 armies yet. So you know,
You're gonna be here forever, Tom.
it may well be. I'm just going to quickly. No, we don't necessarily do this, but I always find it a bit easier to sort of. There we go. And if people want to say, what are you people's up to this evening? Let's see what hobby you're working on. I don't know if did you see Jack's magazine or book collection that he tagged you in on Discord?
No, I didn't. Let's have a quick little look.
I can do that. 1 second. Look.
I don't even know. Oh, nice. I had that book.
He did these 3. So you got it. I'm just showing. So Jack, I'm just showing because Dom clearly hasn't looked.
No. Had that one. No. Oh, I also have that. No, I've definitely read it though.
I don't want to afford it. Let's get. Hang on a minute.
Let's go through. Yeah.
It's right over here. There we go.
House. Nice. That's a painter's fun right there.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Vortex. Yeah, I had these 2.
I remember those ones.
Yeah, no, I haven't had that. Oh, Dark Elder, I definitely had that codex because it had a brilliant quote on the spine. I think it was like, bring me another toy, this one is brilliant. Dark Elves.
I think I had that one.
The Demons, yeah. That's the battle. Yeah, I've got that one.
Yeah, I think I might sell that as well, actually. And then I think, oh yeah, there you go.
Nice. Have you got that model to paint?
Which yes, well, technically Vicky's got it.
I
bought it for her World Eaters.
Yeah, nice.
But I didn't buy it. It was a free gift from Warhammer TV, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's another one there. I think there was a couple more actually. That's it. There we go.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah.
Very nice. Right, so here we go. Some Legion Imperialis. Nice. I'm still looking at it, Tom. I'm still looking at Legion Imperialis. I love the models. I think it's because we've already got a Titan.
Yes.
Well, you've got several Titans. Yeah. I've got some planes. I'm like, oh man, I could do like my Slaughterers of Silence, my Traitor Guard army.
Still got my Titan kit, which I've assembled the models from not painted as well. So naughty. I shouldn't have bought that.
Did you get carried away at the moment, Tom?
I do. It was my 40th birthday weekend, and they were just sitting there going, "Oh, please buy me."
Yeah.
And then we watched that lovely floor game of.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
went straight over.
Yeah, that's like, what happened. It was literally
take my money.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't want to play the big version, but I'll play the small version.
Yeah.
So I said the rules. Like I was saying, I had a. Oh, sorry. Captain Jack says Gaslands for me. So like painting a Volvo for the missus.
Nice.
And I had a game on Sunday, and a friend has started collecting it. So I am enthused for the teeny tiny tanks.
Oh, that's cool. That is very cool. I quite like the idea of the teeny tiny tanks and the Titans and the planes and the troops.
Yeah, it's turning into a very cool little. Not even a side game now. It's kind of a.
Well, the thing is, it started as like 2 side games, and now it's turned into a proper game.
Because that was the flying one, wasn't it?
Yeah, Aeronautica.
And then they went, obviously, the Titan one, and now they've gone. Well, we may as well just carry on.
Let's just keep making models.
Don't blame them. It's probably a good sideline.
Yeah. Especially the way models are designed now as well, because if you make it for 30k. Instantly you can use it. You shrink it down and go. Oh, there we go, done.
We now have it's a miniature 30k Imperial Arse.
Yeah, gone are the days of when Epic was out and they had to obviously do a lot more sculpting by hand. Now it's literally just like hand scale.
It's just like drag the slide.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There we go. That's how we make them.
Oh dear, yeah. Today's a lot easier in that particular respect. I would admit. And I think we were talking. Yeah, I mean, we had a slight conversation about it the other week just after your failed attempt to join us after a couple of goes, and we were talking about different rule systems and how Games Workshop obviously release rule sets and things like that, and their methods of releasing them and all the different game systems. It was
There's some brilliant videos online you can watch where you have the likes of Andy Chambers or Jervis Johnson going about like the history of certain games and what their remit was and how long they got given to do it. And it's like some games, for instance, were like, this is the most perfect game, we're done. Other games are like, there you go. That's out. Maybe that works.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting.
Because that's pretty much what we were. Yeah, that's what we were kind of talking about. Because we were talking about like 40k as an example with the rule sets, and I was sort of saying it'd be quite nice if they tried like a major beta test of them or something. And they went and said, look, we're thinking of doing these potentially 3 things. Here's the rule sets. Try them out, and then see what the public likes. But, yeah.
Be interesting to see what people are like though when it comes to stuff like that. If you made it open to everyone,
yes,
I don't think that's necessarily a constructive.
No, this is one of the subjects we chatted about. Is that you may end up splitting the community because a lot of people would like it a certain way and other people won't like it, which is unfortunately true. But it's it was more of a Mr. Holland. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Doing well.
I'm painting a vampire.
As he does. And this is the start of his Blood Bowl army.
Yeah, my Blood Bowl team of the weirdly coloured undead team.
The problem is you'll start that and you have to do it.
Well, that's it. That's what I found with the Stormcast, though. When we did the Stormcast at Warhammer Fest, I was like, oh yeah, this is really cool.
He's so right. That was my one.
I think it's credit for Games Workshop where they kind of go, here's your one free model of the month, and they go, oh, this is nice.
That was, I think I should share it previously, but that's what I did. That's 2 years ago now, isn't it? Pretty much. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, I actually quite enjoyed how that came out in the end. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was a nice little moment. Actually, I quite enjoyed that about Warhammer Fest. Even though there was, people might complain there wasn't a huge amount to do. Maybe there wasn't, but then part of the nice thing was that you could sit there and just paint the model,
and it was very chill.
And it was actually a chill, nice environment.
I think you had now, didn't you? I think that was the slot you had. I think.
I don't remember if there was a slot or just basically keep going.
Keep going until you finish. Yeah. I don't think any of us entered it.
No.
Didn't leave our models in the wall.
Oh yeah, they were like, leave your model on this battlefield. We're like, I'm not leaving my model on the battlefield. That's actually where I got this pen grip from.
Oh yeah, because he was giving them away.
Yeah, they were giving them away.
He was like, I think I've got a box.
What were they using it? Yeah, because they were using them for the boxes.
Yes.
They were using the boxes of these that you could take your model home.
That's right, yeah.
And then I just looked under just a whole crate of these and I was like, well, can I have one?
No, if that doesn't tell you how badly they probably sold. The fact that they were going, here's a box that they were in. We'll scrub the product, but the box is you can have a free box.
That's such a cool thing. There are a few good games. Titanicus is a much more immersive game, great for tight tournament games or very crunchy narrative games. Control Terminal. Yeah, exactly. Also, that's why I quite like the look of it, to be honest. Legion of Heroes is a lot more beer and pretzel type game, very chill. Yeah, I think that's quite nice though, to be fair, that you have got 2 options. A bit like, I suppose, you can go like with Kill Team and 40k, that you have got the 2 options. Painting a vampire, is that the same task Lee as painting his corn guy for? Yes, it is.
How did Lee go?
Lee went for one, but Lee got the lucky gamble of getting a corn Blood Bowl guy and getting bronze as one of his colours.
Unbelievable. I think you should be able to trade. Yeah, 2 people. He should give you the bronze. You should give him that orange.
But yes, it is, Dave. I've got given atrocious colours. So I'm working on it now. But what I might do, because you can't add more colours in, you can do whites and blacks.
Can you mix them?
You can mix them together. You can mix these together, so you can mix them and make your own colours.
Maybe orange and green together might turn into a slightly murkier.
I'm thinking I might be able to lighten it or darken it.
You've got a reasonable fleshy colour there as well. If you put a bit of orange of that, and you might have a...
Yeah, I can just mix it up and see what happens. But tonight, I'm mainly doing the bronze on my vampire guy. And to be fair, bronze is starting to look quite cool on this guy. Hello, Andy.
Oh, Mr. Speed, welcome. Yeah, we are in the same room because we had to tackle Dom's internet problems head on and just have him over here instead. I have actually offered to go over and have a quick look at some things, hopefully maybe this week, to see if we can get a bit more stable.
Bring an army around and we can play.
I think that sounds like a cracking idea. Maybe, we'll see. I know it's half term this week, so
it is half term. Well, I've done my parenting. So.
Or maybe I can.
It is dial up, Andy. Yeah, that's the problem, Andy. People, when I'm dialing up, people suddenly pick up the phone at home and decide that they want to make a sudden phone call, which then ruins everything. And
See, the sad thing is, I'm knowing you all these years, I would not
nothing wrong with dial-up. That's not nothing at all. It's solid internet there, buddy. Reliable. Well, not reliable.
Clearly not. You can't use that as an adjective for your internet.
It's not reliable at all.
But no, so hopefully we will have a look at that and we'll get that a little bit more stable without hopefully costing an arm and a leg.
But yes, anyway, what other hobby bits are you guys doing tonight? Because I am painting a vampire and Tom is painting a knight.
I am indeed. I really feel like I want to get like a top-down camera for the corner
Yeah,
at some point. I think it'd be quite nice. Even though people would have to. But the thing is, I have kind of a habit of painting like this, so I don't know how well that would.
It's a habit. You've got to try and change it.
Because I'll be more like this, like which that. Might do my back in.
Hello,
Chris as well. Welcome. And again, apologies if the audio is a bit crackly. It was pointed out earlier. I can't do much about it right now, but bear with. And obviously, just if you can persevere just for this stream, that'll be great. Thank you. Because I know audio quality. It's weird because audio is one of those things that apparently is quite a key, I suppose, turn off for people that watch YouTube if it's bad audio.
Absolutely. I completely understand.
I know myself that there are certain videos which I kind of learn, oh, that looks cool. And you start listening, it's like, are you
in a cave?
Yeah, you cave. Where is your microphone? Using one of those little, you remember those old Microsoft ones, the little white ones, the little thing on the end of it. It's
a little stick kind of things.
Awful.
We're not using those anymore.
No, except for this magic.
Paint AOS stuff, very cool. Very nice. Well, like I said, this is kind of AOS.
Close
enough. AOS was it fantasy? I think it's just fantasy.
It's probably fantasy, isn't it?
More fantasy.
Yeah.
AOS.
Microphone. I just talk into a tin can attached to the string. I mean, we could try. Problem is, I'd have to run string to all your houses, guys. I think that's just a very cost-ineffective option.
No, it's fine, Tommy.
But we'd get to visit all of you and install your cup phone.
Cup phones.
I mean, the world tour back to the studio installing fans' cup phones. I mean,
living a dream, some would say.
Probably have to sail over as well.
Yeah, sail over.
Seems like a commitment issue.
These things happen.
Yeah, so.
Nice.
So the other thing you probably didn't get to talk about the other week was your game you had, by the way. Your game at the weekend, or games at the weekend, your tournament games.
I was saying, but they kept getting cut off, didn't they?
Yes.
So
maybe you should bring
I did quite well.
Speed. Yeah, I know you did.
I won 2 or 3 games, guys. So we'll go back through it as well. So yeah, I had a tournament. Normally we do doubles or teams, but it's quite nice occasionally to do one by yourself.
Oh yeah, I
So yeah, played 3 games. First game was against Chaos Space Marines, which is like a mirror match. Sorry, I took so on my list that I had Phoebe's Spile, a couple of Chaos Lords, 2 squads of Chosen, 1 squad of Legionnaires, 1 massive squad of Terminators, a Terminator Lord, squad of Cultist Fodder, 2 squads of Obliterators, and 2 Predators, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe that sounds about right.
He's forgotten.
Yeah, I mean, it's a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, it was really, really good fun. Played, so almost a mirror match. Had a little bit of bad luck, but the guy knew what he was doing and basically outmaneuvered me. He had a massive squad of 10 Chosen with an Executioner and Fabius Spile, and they just walked across the battlefield. And oh my goodness, it was so painful. It just hacked me apart, and I was like, "Oh, I should have done that. Why didn't I do that?" So
that's how I always envision my sword brethren to work. You see, when you have Hellbreak to them. And to be fair, he does do it, as you saw.
Yeah. And the thing is, with Chosen as well, they get advance and charge, and fall back and charge. And because you've got Fabius, you've got +1 strength.
+1 strength.
And +1 toughness. And so when they're, these swords that are hitting on, wounding on freeze, exploding rolls, or sustained or lethal, we got the Executioner there for re-rolls. It's just a horrible combination.
Yes. It was a good stacking one.
Yeah, it was really nice. Anyway, so he won quite convincingly. And my second game was against our friend Paul, who was playing World Eaters with Angron. And it was nice because we had the first game. We had our lunch break, and during the lunch break, we went to Tesco's, and I was chatting to Paul, and I was like, we're on pretty much the same scores here. And he's like, yeah. So we essentially went, we're probably going to play each other. Let's get lots of snacks and have a chilled game, and which we did, which is great. I love, because, you know, I felt a bit down after the first game. I was like, oh, what have I done? How did this happen to me?
It's all gone wrong.
It's all gone wrong. And then the second game, it was chilled. It was a lot of fun, lots of laughter, and kind of boosted my morale back up.
Paul's a good opponent.
Paul's a good opponent, and it was a good victory in the end. And yeah, killed Angron, and my overwatching my last cannons was making him actually quite physically sick. Like at one point, he had 5 berserkers. He was jumping out of cover to charge units. I was like, oh, I'll fire my predator here. Killed 4 of the 5 with my Overwatch. I was like, no idea how this is happening.
Well, this is what I think happens. You obviously normally complain about your dice being terrible, but I think you just save them up
bits and bursts. Yeah,
just save them up. Yeah, you need 6 in Overwatch. It's like I save mine for saves. You know, because my saves are normally just ridiculous. So
I'm still thinking of a flamer-based army, so I can take hit rolls out the equation.
Just minimise.
Yeah, minimise the amount of rolls that I'm going to be failing at. And then my third game was against Grey Knights from a lovely guy called Jack from Tunbridge Wells. He came down, and I'd never played Grey Knights in this edition. I knew they were fiddly. Oh no, we had.
Have you played?
But I haven't really like.
I think one-on-ones are different. Different experience,
different kettle of fish. And he explained his army, what purifiers did, for instance. I was like, I'm just re-rolling everything, and we can take these off and move them around. Blah 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 blah. And he was really good. He honestly just explained everything. He kind of went, well, this would happen. This would happen. This is good against this. This is not good against that. And I was like, brilliant. Thank you very much. We both said, look, we're not going to win this tournament. Let's just have a fun game, and got on with it. And yeah, it was a tough game because I suddenly was like, oh, everything's moving around the battlefield.
Yes.
However, he did forget a couple of bits, and it wasn't until my turn he remembered them, and I was like, yeah, it's a bit late for this.
I don't know. So day we would.
So basically, because I was able to eradicate certain things, and it was eventually I won because he just had Crow left and about 5 purifiers, I think they were.
Yes.
And everything else is just my stuff all over the place, and I was like, yeah, this is good. But he was a really great guy, and I'd even though what the outcome was a win, even playing him again, knowing what he's like, and he was a complete gentleman, and I would happily play him again, and I would happily get stomped in the face by him because he was a top opponent.
Because I think Grey Knights has got that kind of, I've played them a couple of times, to be fair, and I think they are quite a complex army to understand of all their little tricks and.
Yeah, it's a very interesting army actually. I did enjoy it, and I think he'd played a few armies before, and he had a rough idea of chaos, and he didn't quite understand, or didn't understand. He didn't have the experience of obliterators. So when the obliterators were coming in and doing a lot of the heavy lifting, he was like, "Oh, they do that," and I was like,
yes.
"Yeah, they do that."
They do. Obliterators do a lot of things. To be fair, they're quite. I actually quite like obliterators personally.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. So that was the weekend before, and then last weekend I had my half marathon, which
yes,
I have finally recovered from.
It like a few days now, was it?
Oh my goodness! So I ran the South Downs half marathon.
Yes,
and the hills, as you can imagine, from being on the Downs and the South Downs. If you Google it, there's some formidable.
You did very well, though. To be fair.
Yeah, and it was good because I did. So I did it in 2 hours 16.
Yeah, that's good.
And I was very impressed because I did walk up a massive hill. After about 2K, I think it is after 3K. Yeah. And then there's this massive hill, which is just like disgusting.
It's interesting because obviously I did the Beachy Head half at the end of last year. And you start off, obviously, for the people who don't know the area, there was a place called St. Bede's, which is a school near where this place starts. And it literally is that.
Straight away.
Vertical climb.
Yeah.
And obviously, you see a lot of people sort of jogging up it a little bit. And there are some people that can manage it, but then a lot of people go, no, just ease into it because this is like the first hill of several. You're about to get.
You're not going to enjoy this.
And it's not. And I think it was 2:45. I did the whole thing in. And I remember it was very. It's interesting because obviously I don't know how up and down your one was. Was it constantly up and down? Or was
no,
it...
well, no, it was kind of, so you'd get to the top of the downs, like across, then you'd go for a couple of K, go down across the field, then you back up, down a bit, and then it's a very gradual one, and just constantly gradual back up. And you're like, well, at some point, I've got to head back to the start. And I know that's downhill. And I made a very loud, like, here we go. But, and got to a point, and you could see the people ahead suddenly turning down and going, and I went, yes, at last!
You can see because I think I made a little joke about it obviously being hilly like the South Downs, sorry, like the Beachy Head one, because the Beachy Head one's very deceptive. Because you start off going up very rapidly, and it's quite a good steady climb, and then we actually went through the bits we walked through as well, which was quite nice. And it was actually there was a turning off. I think when we were having our walk the other year, where that very nice gate posted thing with the long tarmac drive that goes down. That's actually where it ends up going down. Oh, okay. And you think then, oh, good, we're going down. But that just puts you in a valley behind the seven systems.
That's the thing. You've got to remember. And then if you're going down, you need to get, and that's what I was thinking. I was going down, and I was like, well, I need to go back up at some point. So I keep going down, and I'll know. because you go right down to where some houses are, and then it starts going back up again. It's like,
and that's basically, that's a very simple thing. Is that I think so essentially that's about just over half of it. And then they literally give you pretty much 7 hills to do the last half of it. And I'm not gonna lie, there was some walking points, and my brother very kindly met me actually at one of the Beachy Head Cafe, and I was coming through there, and he suddenly just turned up out of the blue and went, I'm going to run with you.
Oh, nice.
Okay, that's good. That's cool. So he sort of went with me a bit, and I was like, up, down, up.
Yeah, it's and I found it. So that was only my second half I've done, and I found it so much harder mentally than doing one in town, because when you do, sorry guys, talk about running when we can be talking about for hobby, but when you're doing one in town, and actually to be fair, this is a good lesson, because you don't realise until you've done it, but when you're in town or you're doing one in a city and you've got the crowds cheering you on and supporting you at those really key moments,
when you need
it means so much, because you're suddenly like, okay, this has raised me up, I can do this. But when you are by yourself, where there's no one else about, and you're literally just running, you're like, why am I doing this? Like, oh my goodness, how far am I? And the worst thing is, at one point, I was like, oh, I must be about halfway through. And I looked at my watch, and I was like, you've done 8K. I was like, oh, God.
No, I'm not even
halfway.
But I suppose that's the one benefit of the Beach Head one was actually they actually, because the course actually goes through a lot of kind of country roads to link up to certain bits, and there's bits where you're like, oh, this is like there's loads of people come out from their actual houses, and and you're like, oh, this is actually quite interesting, because they've got very nice houses and they're up on this hill, and they literally come out and just sort of stand there watching all the runners come past. And it's a very small lane sometimes, and that was one bit I was like, oh yeah, and because it's a downs one, they had a lot of kind of people at various checkpoints, which are because obviously because it's a much more spread out kind of thing. They need obviously to have more marshals around in various like fence areas to make sure you're going the right way. And
absolutely.
But I would actually say that it was interesting because I'd done obviously I did the Hastings half with you last year, and I had also done the Poppy. It's not the Poppy. It's the Bexhill 10K the week before I did this one. And it's actually a really dramatically different experience on the level of support you get in both of those aspects. But obviously we're both doing the Hastings half again this year, by the way. So I'm hoping that I'm going to shave off a bit of time.
I think that's the idea.
I've had to be a little bit careful the last couple of weeks because I had a couple of knee issues, but they seem to have cleared up again, which is good. So I have still been running, just not as frequently as I wanted to.
You've got to do what you got to do. So rules were, the half I did. Was out in the field, was very fast and flat. My friends did the one in town, and there was so much more buzz and atmosphere when I went to support them. Absolutely. And I think as well, like, because it was 80 to 90% in mud.
That's a big
like you're constantly like, don't fall over, don't fall over, don't fall over. which is where you're looking out constantly.
Yeah.
But on the roads, well, in Hastings, you're looking out for potholes, and that's about it.
Bottles and glass.
Bottles and glass. Yeah, you're generally okay most of the time. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. So I was kind of like, I wish I could do another one, but I don't want to push it. I don't want to go. I'm going to do another one before the Hastings. I'll happily do Hastings.
I really wish I could have done that one last weekend, but unfortunately, because some pre-arranged stuff going on the day before, I wasn't in the best condition in the morning to run a half marathon.
Oh dear.
Well, it was Valentine's Day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, and we'd gone out that evening, so I don't think it would have been a good idea. It's all about pacing. Yeah, pacing's a key thing, because I have a very bad habit of going too fast out the gate. I normally find that it's because I wouldn't say I was a natural long distance runner. I've always been more of a sprinter at heart, so I actually do prefer like the 10K, but I like the challenge of a half.
Yeah,
it's a nice distance. It's not impossible even if you're.
It's a stamina thing.
It's just and it's all about, honestly, it's about picking a pace and trying to stick to it, and don't overdo it, because the minute you go, you go in those. The weird thing, obviously, we do minutes per mile and all this, or minutes per K or whatever. It's amazing what difference a whole minute can make on a mile over that whole course, even though it's dropping from 11 to 12 for a bit just to get yourself he's a dwarf.
Exactly.
And of course, speaking of other things, we're doing another walk this year, aren't we? Another walk over the Downs for 3 days this time.
Exactly. Busy people. Having midlife crises.
Yes, we've because did you tell our fans what you did on New Year's Day?
New Year's Day. Did I? I think I did. I went for a swim. New Year's Day. That was atrocious. Of me getting swept away. But yeah, I think it's a tradition I'm going to do next year as well.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll keep the breakfast on for you. All right? I did breakfast for the people that did it at my house, which was actually I actually quite enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, it was nice. Little atmosphere.
I like cooking for people, so it's
exactly.
Oh yeah, that's always a good one. I think my smoker's lungs will give the Hastings Hub a miss. If it falls on the right weekend, may pop along to support day. 23rd of March, Dave.
Yeah, come along. It's quite nice as well, because you are kind of running along. You're not necessarily, you might go with whoever your partner or whatever. When you're running, you do tend to see people on the route as well, like either running or supporting, and it's nice to kind of give them a wave and say hello.
It's quite interesting, because I had one of my co-workers actually turned up because he lived nearby. And it was actually a really nice surprise, because hello mate, and he's
exactly.
He come along, he said it on people, but it was just how you doing? It gives you that little boost, because I mean, ultimately my main issues last year were some severe back pain, which I think I've cleared up now. So
good.
That was really, but you saw me after it. I was in a bad place.
You weren't. You didn't look overly happy.
No, I was. As I say, I'm never afraid to admit I was on the edge of tears, because that was the level of pain I've been dealing with for about 6 miles, and it wasn't pleasant. But but hopefully both of us will at least improve on what we did.
Yeah,
what did you do last year? Was it 2:10? Wasn't it? Oh no,
2:09.
2:09. That was it. Yes. Yeah. I hope you get under 2, mate.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I was very happy with my result on Saturday. I mean, the next 2 days were rather painful.
Yeah.
So I got dragged around London as well. I was like, oh, please. So many stairs.
But yeah, cool. But that's our midlife crisis fitness journey going on, guys. So but it's been, to be fair, it's been quite good, because I think obviously there's 3 of us that do kind of regularish running.
Yep.
And it's been quite nice just meeting up on a random Saturday, Sunday, and just cracking out a few miles, because it doesn't have to be a lot. Honestly, just getting out for a good. I mean, to be fair, our runs now are actually reasonably quite long for.
Yeah, exactly. We're doing all right. All right. This guy's turning out quite well. I think bronze is a very good touch.
To be fair, I like that bronze as well.
It's nice. Look, hang on, guys. I don't know if you can see that, but this vampire guy is like literally covered in armour for Blood Bowl. It's actually quite a cool model. So Yeah, he's doing all right for
Yeah, I'm
himself.
looking forward to getting some wash on this because they do look a lot better once they have been washed in their various colours. I've got to go back here, so that's why I left it black. Oh, God's sake. Too much metal. Oh, no, let's go with this again as well. Oh, man. Yeah, I think I had a dodgy batch of, what should we call it?
Glue? Paint?
No,
Brushes.
lead belcher.
Ah, yeah.
When it splits a bit all the time, regardless of what you do with it.
The metallics are so hit and miss, aren't they?
Sometimes they are actually fantastic.
Yeah.
Other times.
This is nice, but yeah, let's. I found with the lighter silvers, just rough.
I've got it right here.
Absolutely
This one
rubbish.
right here.
Yeah.
The Stormhost silver.
Yeah.
This one is
rubbish in a jar.
But unfortunately, it's a very nice colour.
If you ever get it working properly.
Yeah, but I tend to use it for more edge highlighting, I think, because it doesn't need to go on fully, but it's quite a nice one to highlight edges of models because it's a good highlight off a lead belcher colour as an example.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what other favourite copper. I mean, there's another copper I like as well. I'm trying to remember what it was. It's probably behind me over here.
Brass Scorpion.
Brass Scorpion's very nice.
One of my favourites.
That's a base, isn't it? That one?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, base metallics are normally pretty solid. This is also, I do like Retributor armour.
Retributor
armour.
That's what I'm using. Yeah. I use
on
that on my World Eaters. It's like a
Black
highlight.
Legion Knights.
Black Legion Knights.
So I want to get the white and the red on, but don't look as Black Legion.
Put the chains on, maybe some spikes.
No. You draw the line at spikes. That's where chaos kicks in.
Yeah,
it's
adding spikes in, like whoa, you've crossed the line.
You've gone too far.
Have I crossed the line? I don't think I have.
Yeah, and I think there's one more here. Which I've tried to work out what it was. There's this metallic here, and I can't remember what that was. I'll have to find it because I need to do that on these. It's a slightly darker version of the Retributor. I like that because when you wash that comes out really nice as well.
Yeah, there's some are quite nice. Some are just.
But some are rubbish, honestly.
Like the ones so the base one I use for my World Eaters. Is it Warplock?
A Warplock bronze.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that is a pig.
And the problem is you've used it now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is the big issue.
Because it doesn't go even. I find the only way you can kind of make it look, you've got to wash it afterwards and it takes a bit of the shine away, and it's not too bad. But
it's the purpose. Yeah. That's also a problem when you get a nice kind of colour scheme as well. When you pick certain paints that you weren't that happy with, you can't sometimes go, "Oh, I'll just change it." But all your other models start to look a bit weird.
Yeah. Especially in army, like probably a bit like your Templars, or especially my Guard as well, where I've kind of had to change colour over the years because games change their colour, and I'm like, oh.
If I put like my original Space Marines next to my new Primaris ones, there is a stark difference.
Yeah.
Because I used to use a lot of gold, silver, and various other things on their weaponry.
Yep.
And then I've switched to obviously using red because I think it's a much better contrast colour for black and white. But here's an example of something I've made a slight boo-boo on. I was doing the big knight over here because I have that to do as well. And as you can see here, I've based it in silver.
Yeah.
And I realised the other ones were actually black with.
Oh, do you like a dry brushing on there?
And I was just thinking, damn. But then I thought actually, because I was planning on making this one a. I think I gave this the.
You can knoll oil it.
I will knoll oil, and then I will use a darker metal to dry brush it. So that kind of. I might even use a black because sometimes that actually works quite nicely. But yeah, it's weird because I was looking at it going, why have I done this? Why did I do it? Why did I base it in silver?
Do that?
Why? And but ultimately it will turn out fine. And then when I put all my bits on it, it'll probably be okay. It's just weird how sometimes you miss a step in your head and you just do it, and you're like, oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, it's all gone a bit wrong.
And like I said, I've got a lot. The nice thing is because I've got this obviously this collection of combat patrols. So I've got a few squads like the Flamers. I did actually finish building I found a perfect helmet for this guy at the end.
Dominic. Yeah.
So yeah. What the? You spit that? I don't know. Coming back.
Yeah, I've got this guy.
When's the?
Oh yeah, we'll think about doing some painting competitions.
Yes,
painting challenge.
We have been. Sorry, we it has been something we've been meaning to do. Maybe we'll say, should we do like the first stream of March? We'll bring something back.
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll have a proper conversation about
the first stream of March. We'll
work on
I'll try
an idea behind it.
Yeah, because I think we've let it rest for long enough now, I think, where I think there'll be some inspiration to come in, because ultimately it was becoming. I'm not going to sit. No, sure, that's a bit unfair. I think it was.
I think it was just hard work because it'd be the same 2 or 3 people doing it every time, and even it's great, but it's nice to get everyone in the community kind of doing something as well and enjoying it, and we get a big buzz off when you guys all kind of like loads into it. And you're like, oh, this is amazing! Like, so nice that you guys have been working and committed to doing something. So we need to think of something worthwhile for you guys to get behind.
We'd love to do little prizes. The prizes mean money. Well, they say that though. I was thinking this the other day, Don, because if you look up there, I've got quite a fair collection of commemorative boxes now. You probably got quite a few as well, because the funny thing is every time me and Vicky go to an event, and if Don goes, we end up kind of 3 copies or something because we all get something, and I can tell you right now, we don't always paint them because they're normally random.
Yeah, there's something like the guard one. I was looking at my guard army and I was like, oh, there's a couple of commissars here and they're quite cool.
So rules, like I said, it was hard because I had a few projects on the go and found it hard to deviate into the new things, especially when preparing for events. I really liked them. Honestly, we honestly appreciate the fact that not everyone can get involved, or that it's just we're trying to make. I suppose we want to get to that level where people feel they can do it, even if they are working on other things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now I have my armies painted, so I have cool. All right.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. Like, and generally speaking, if I'm doing an event, I've planned another 40k word bearer army, and I'm like, it's very infantry heavy, by the way. And I was like, I got this, and I got this, and I got this, and I'm like, I want to use this, and I don't actually have them.
You don't have that one. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to glue. No, I've already got them glued up. I have to paint them, and it just seems like you're just constantly painting for doing events or battles, and you're just like, why am I still doing this? Like,
you've got lots already.
12,000 points of word bearers, and I'm still painting word bearers.
And it is simply because I think it's because people want to try something different sometimes, and unfortunately, the way it works is you may make a nice list up, you do it all, and then you're like, right, that didn't work.
Off we go. So again,
these are now consigned to the bin.
Consigned to the bin.
Not quite. No,
it's true. They are.
But you tend
right in the bin.
Typically, though, in a tournament, you may have something that just performed woefully.
Yeah.
And you'll go, that is now my narratively list play thing that I enjoy playing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sometimes you get something and you're like, oh, I really want to try this out. I'll give it a go. Like, for instance, I took the Terminator Lord mainly because I converted him from that model.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, it looks awesome. I'm going to take him. And I'm like, man, should I have taken him? Should I have? Because that like 500 points of Terminator.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe
one Terminator too far.
Yeah, one Terminator too far.
Yeah.
So there are certain models you're like, oh, why did I do that? Because they look cool.
Yeah, that is.
And I do that so often.
But sitting behind you on that tray was, that to me is a cool army. I like the Sword Brethren. I like the Crusader squads. And actually, the Sword Brethren did very well against your tanks, bizarrely.
They did, didn't they? It's super heavy.
It was rather surprising.
It's broken thingy.
Yes, it's in front of him. It's broken off. It's one of those ones where it's broken before, and it's just like, glue it back on. But you've got to put a rod in it, really. Finding a pin drill that small is highly unlikely.
Let's see what this looks like.
Oh, he's going for it. Getting the pink out.
Let's see what the pink looks like. I'm just curious.
Do you have to use all the colours?
I don't think I have to use all the colours. I don't know, Dave. If you're near the lead, can you ask him if I've got to use all 4 colours? I'm going to say no. A little bit of this base just to.
But ultimately we're talking about making new lists up, and I'm actually going to try some drop pods, as I think we discussed previously, and that was one of the conversations we had last week was about drop pod usage.
Oh yeah. And getting by surprise.
Well, because I think obviously I was going to talk to you about this last week, and it was like, I was thinking more about it. I said yes, they are. So someone made the point that they're no longer mobile when they're down, which is a fair point.
Yeah.
However, you don't have to put them down first turn.
No.
But also your opponent can't do anything against all the models you've hidden.
Yep.
And all the drop pods you've got in reserve, because they do not count towards the reserve count either.
No, because they're deep strike.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and they have a special rule that they can come in on the first turn.
Mm-hmm.
Drop
pod as soul?
I think that's what I believe. So the way I thought about using it was actually you could hide your entire army bar and then have them ready to come on, whether you get first turn or not.
Yeah.
And they become the unit that goes right up against their force straight away, while the rest of your army has time to prep and move into position. It's just about making the rest of that army quite.
Isn't here? Never mind. I quite like the idea of drop pods. I don't know how practical they are, although they do have OC as well.
Correct.
So you have,
yes.
and it's one of those things, a bit like a rhino. When I'm facing it, I'm like, I don't really want to kill that. It's a waste. And a drop pod is definitely even less of I don't want to kill that.
And I suppose technically, if you can get them all onto one objective, you've got 6 OC on that objective technically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can stack them. Obviously, the slight drawback comes when you have to get them obviously 9 inches away, and the models have to come out. Them have to be 9 inches away.
Yeah.
So and the old adage of "I failed my charge" is because I will be playing combat.
Yeah.
Is it harder to use them with the smart? I don't know because ultimately everyone starts at the same distance away. So if you don't get first turn, your opponent moves towards you. You just drop them further back and still have the same advantage of the fact that they've just dropped on the table and you can go forward. Or they can't move as far forward because they'll leave something open in their back lines, which lets you drop them in the back line. So they can't. There's certain things that I think it does. As you said, I think it makes your opponent probably think a bit more about.
Yeah, because you like as an opponent, you're like, right, I know what's coming in, and I know what they're going to do. Yeah. Right, I'm going to try and screen out, and you're going to have to face that. But also, if you're doing it multiple times, and this is what I think about deep strike as well. You don't always have to deep strike behind their lines.
No, you don't.
So what I tend to do, what I've done several times is like, let's say I've got my Terminators going up the middle, and they're focusing on the Terminators and bringing stuff forwards. I'll put my Obliterators behind my Terminators, so suddenly I've got this fire base that's appeared that I can, maximise damage on the opponent. So
and they have to make that choice.
Yeah,
which one they're more worried about.
Yeah.
So, but it ultimately is something I just want to try because I haven't used them for a long time. I've actually got 5 pods sitting in my storage cases that I haven't used probably for multiple years. And this is the thing, also, because I'm quite guilty of doing this online. Is I look at stuff there, and in my head is no one's doing it. Is it bad? I don't know. I haven't tried it. That's basically how I look at it, because ultimately meta is meta, and you can't argue with it, I suppose, to a certain degree. If there's a certain list that works for an army, it's going to work for the army.
Yeah, it's meta for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
It works.
But I think, as I look at it, there's people that haven't tried things as well, and if you don't try them, you'll never really know. I mean, some of the lists we've had, which we thought would be fantastic, have been awful. And some of the lists we thought would be awful have gone, no, this has actually been all right.
Yeah, I think there's that element where you are surprising your opponent, because your opponent might look at a Black Templar list and go, oh, he's going to take this, this, and this.
Yes.
And then suddenly you rock up with 3 drop pods, rammed full of stuff, and you're like, well, how do I deal with drop pods?
I haven't seen them for a long time.
I've never encountered drop pods. Like, what do I do with this? So you do catch people on the back foot because they're just unexpecting, they're not expecting this.
And I think the interesting one was obviously the Deathwind version of it with the missiles. It's very good from having additional artillery to it. But the problem is everyone's modelled them without it, because back in the day you couldn't put troops in a Deathwind drop pod, but apparently you can now. So which I thought was rather weird.
Well, I think also it's that thing of, like, I remember when I had a couple of drop pods, I would do a lot of them sealed. So it's like, well, they are WYSIWYG because it's in there, but I can't open it, so I can't show you what's in there.
And ultimately, it's when you put it down, if the things don't open, it doesn't matter. It's just 9 inches from the furthest point of it. So it's really nice not to play. Yes, that is very true, Andy, and that is one thing that I think me and Don will agree on. When you go to tournaments, it's very tiring to see the same list over and over again sometimes. When you go to hyper competitive ones, this is kind of what happens. I still have a very bitter taste in my mouth about that. When I took my Red Scorpions to an event, I think it was a Hellstorm event actually. Remember that one? And I drew Tau 3 times in a row, and it was the same list.
Yeah.
Bar a variation of the type of Riptide that was being used. And at the end of the day, most of the opponents were absolutely fine, but it was very like, oh, this one again. I'm not going to. And unfortunately, because of what happens at the end of the game, you kind of go, I'm not going to win this.
Yeah,
because you go in there in your head thinking, this list is all right, I can make this work, and then you can't because it wasn't. I took a very themed list for that. Yeah, that was a Red Scorpion themed list. I haven't played my Red Scorpions for a long time. I was thinking about this the other day. There's so many standard Marines there now. I don't know.
I need more Marines, Tom. If anything, you need to
get some Primaris.
You need to commit to doing an event and get your army sorted.
Yeah. Next one, I will be playing my Templars again. I'm going to try the pods with. I want to try 3 Brutalis Dreadnoughts.
Go for it. Why not?
On the back line.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Just on the back line. Well, Brutalis on the back line.
Because then they'll be there to watch.
Can you not put your Brutalis in the drop pods?
No. They no longer take. It's a shame. Because that was back in the day. You could obviously put a single Dreadnought in a pod as opposed to troops, which was nice. I love the theme list. I generally go for narrative events over competitive events for that reason. Yeah, the problem is just there's not a huge amount of narrative events down where we are. Yeah, it's all competitive, isn't it? It's very competitive driven down here, and unfortunately, some of the more narrative based ones do tend to be a little bit of a trek. Which we didn't used to mind doing a lot, but I think nowadays it's not as easy to get away from it's not normally a one day. No, it's definitely
That's quite cool, isn't it? The old pink.
Oh, there you go.
There you go, a little pinky cloak. I don't know if you can see that. I've kind of made the base. Anyway, I'll take some pictures of it.
Yeah. He's showing progress shots quickly.
Pink horror, pink horror.
Oh, is that? Oh, there's a good subject actually. Chaos demons, Dom.
Yeah. I feel sorry for Chaos Demon players.
A lot of rumours on that, wasn't it? I mean, obviously, we don't know if it's 100% true, but I think it looks very likely, doesn't it? I think from what some of the stuff that was revealed. That they're no longer going to have their own codex.
Yeah, I don't know if they're. I don't know. I mean, if you got Bellacore and obviously he's undivided, so and he's a character as well. It's a bit of a pain, really. But then he might be able to use them as allies
for anyone. He might be able, because he might be able to join any particular thing. Obviously, for me, it was a real kick because
you're going to have to just get World Eaters. You get rid of your World Eaters to your wife. Your Zinch Demons are going to do Thousand Suns now, and you got your Death Guard. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't really want to. I've got my Death Guard, so I can ally all my Nurgle stuff to it. I've got my. To be fair, I do have my Night Lords.
Yep.
Which could technically ally with any of them because they are not a
absolutely
focused god-based army. So. I mean, obviously, we'll have to wait and see what happens with how the alignment stuff works. But to be honest, because there's not actually going to be a codex for them, I suppose they won't have any rules for them in that way.
No.
So they'll be just
they'll be indexy.
Yeah. Which I think it's a shame because it's a very characterful army.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you think about over the years, how many games that we've played against a true Chaos player?
Yeah.
It was actually more fun because the person. I always remember back to. Do you remember the guy we played at Warhammer World a long time ago when we stayed for the?
Was it him and his wife?
Him and his wife. That was it. Yes.
Yeah.
And we stayed to play the quiz.
Yeah.
And I think we teamed up with them.
Yeah, we teamed up with them.
But their army was fantastic, and it was really good fun. I wouldn't say it was the most effective, but
but I think Chaos Demon players generally, I would say the majority of times have got a bit of everything in their army.
Yes.
There's a couple of times where I'm like, oh, you're just running X because Nurgle or Khorne or whatever.
Nurgle was a big one back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, I played a pure Khorne list when I had I think it was Guard.
Yeah.
And I remember back then he wasn't able to kill any of my tanks. And it was just like, this is hard work for him. It's like, all right, cool, skull cannons. Yeah, they're gone. Right, okay, let's go for the juggernauts. Right, they're going. Right,
yeah,
just bloodletters now. Is it? Okay, I'm fine. But yeah, I think it is a shame. Like, they shouldn't kill existing armies, but then they've done it before, and they're coming back as well. So Khorne Demonkin, they disappeared. I was into them. They disappeared. Now it looks like they're coming back. World Eaters. They've got demons in there. But then, my Militarum Tempestus had a codex for them, and they've gone.
Yeah. Which is back when they used to do the little add-ons, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. So it is not nice when your army suddenly disappears. But then Harlequins. Harlequins are one, or like Inquisitors and Grey Knights.
Yes.
That would disappear, come back, disappear, come back.
Because obviously Demon Hunters was quite an interesting thing because that encompassed basically three. So you had the Inquisition army, you had Grey Knights, and you had Sisters of Battle in there. It was all part of one conglomerate kind of thing. And then they separated Grey Knights out. Yeah. So I remember I had some of the metal Grey Knight models for a little while because I did play.
You did Grey Knights.
I did play Demon Hunters for a little while. Yeah. So I just quite enjoyed the selection stuff that you could do, and I quite enjoyed the having the henchman and the Inquisitor and having all these weird. That was really good fun actually. Yeah. And also, Rulza, your point about this is it's a viable army for 40k OS Old World Heresy. That's probably the problem. Yeah. Yeah. As much as I don't want to sound cynical. No, it is because you look at what they've done with all the 30k vehicles. Yeah. They suddenly all disappeared from 40k. Mm-hmm. Because they want to make it like this is this is this. If you want to do, they want to have a line. Yeah, exactly. Deathwatch came back. Exactly. So it's all swings around. It's all, fluid. At some point it will disappear in this one. It might come back in the next one. But we'll wait and see, really, to be honest. I think we will. Yeah. It is a bit tough. And like I said, I've been there. It is tough when your army suddenly has become obsolete and you're like, what do I do now? But there are ways around it. I played for years with Templars having no real kind of actual rules. Yeah. And then suddenly they came out and loads of stuff's out. Well, except they had a codex. Yeah, indeed, yeah. Disappeared for X amount of editions and then come back and it looks like they're staying on top. And they're looks like they may even get another one now. Exactly. So, or at least I like the fact, because it's better. Remember supplements when we had them, because we had like the Angels of Death supplement. I think I've still got a few knocking about. I have got rid of a few because honestly, there comes a point when you've got so many rules books. You're like, what am I using all this for? Because the rule sets are so different. I've kept some of the thematic kind of battle-based books because they're quite nice for ideas. Mm-hmm. But when it's like I've got my 5th edition Space Marine book, look great. Am I going to go play 5th edition again? Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like all these codex supplements we've had over the years, like Crimson Sword, Black Legion, the Legion books, and they suddenly just go boop. You're back to just generic chaos, for instance. So you've got no unique stuff in there. But it is tough, and I definitely do sympathise with those that have lost stuff. And hopefully, models don't rot away. You can keep your models for somewhere. No. You can, most of us have more than one army. My Red Scorpions lost both their leaders. Yeah. They have both been made defunct because obviously, and ironically, that's basically because Cullen was a Redemptor Dreadnought. Yeah, Redemptor, Leviathan. Leviathan Dreadnought. And because that is no longer in UK, that meant he could no longer exist as a character model, which I thought was a real dignity. Yeah. Because he was a special looking model. Yeah, he is a very nice model and he's very characterful. But then suddenly he's just like, nope. And I think he's Leviathan with a twin assault cannon on it. Yeah. Or like, Catachan, Death World Gun. Yeah. They disappeared. They had one, but they're slowly coming back. They've got more character models. Obviously, Krieg's made a big impact. Yeah. And honestly, I'm looking at it going, I'd love to do an artillery army. Yeah, I know, because they're starting to include them now, their little pictures and dioramas. And they've got nice artillery as well. It looks like proper, proper good stuff. I've always looked at doing a guard army in that way, and that's one thing I'll be like, it'd be really cool if I could do that. Only I could have them. Have them all. But probably having just sold a guard army. Hi, Andy. And an orc army. Hi, Andy. And a tower army. All right. He's a real collector. Yeah. When I go around to Andy's, I'm like, that's where his stuff is. Oh, because I've downsized quite a lot, I do take a little bit more consideration in when I'm going to start something like brand new. Mm-hmm. Because I always feel I end up again the same spot. I mean, I'm not getting through a huge amount right now. Keep them saying, you're going to sell them back at an inflated price when you've painted them all really nice. They'll be back. They'll be back. It's tough because you do think about another army. I mean, that's a massive investment. It is. Yeah. I mean, it's already a massive investment playing this hobby. Yes, it is. Then starting from scratch. But what I thought I did, what I think I've done now is I've condensed down to the stuff that I genuinely have an interest in playing or collecting. So the Knights, I love Knights. They're just. I mean, you like them as well. Yeah, Knights are brilliant. They're a solid thing, and they always add a couple of things here and there every time they come out. Yeah, Templars obviously. I love Space Marines, always have, but I tried Imperial Fists. I tried. Templars was my first one. I'll be sticking with that. other than Red Scorpions, obviously, but that's a nice little side army. And then Night Lords, I think I'm going to carry on with.
Yeah, you just have to wait and see.
It's difficult to tell.
Just pick them up and kind of go, oh, I'll give it a go.
The theme I was going with them is kind of broken in the way that they.
It's hard when a lot of your models
stuff.
suddenly become
because
invalid.
The Storm Eagle, the Venator, the what's the other thing I've got? Contemptors.
Yeah,
they're gone. So
and that's
Whirlwind. Yeah. Oh, I've got the Whirlwind Scorpions. Scorpions as well, which I know if I want to play with you, you'll probably
absolutely
not
a problem.
But it's
tough, isn't it? It's when your models go,
especially when you've built it to a certain theme. You know, it's like, oh, what theme's
it's not fun in any way whatsoever. Well, on that positive note, I think we'll call it there for tonight.
So, all right, that's also this last thing out. I think GW absolutely cultivating better lists of classic ways of running armies, whether PDF download supplement armies or legends. To be honest, ending on this bit, I think the positive thing I can take out of this, the way they've done with Old World as an example, you may see a classic 40k set card where you can use anything. You never know. You never know.
And there's all different ways of looking at it. 40k still is their number one game. So they could bring back things to make the crowd happy. Or just make something up with your club, your friends.
Oh, as long as you can make the rules up.
There's still a base.
There's still a good base of stuff that you got. So anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for watching as usual. I'm Tom.
I'm Dom.
That's Dom. And we'll catch you on the next stream. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Oh, it's over here, actually.